Jake Paul's California mansion has been raided by the FBI, multiple news organizations report. You can see in this aerial footage agents in uniform outside his home in Calabasas.
You know what's funny about your brother? Your brother talks more shit than anybody else on the planet. They're trying to sue people when people talk shit. There's people out there saying they're fake fights, they're fixed.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua's a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's active.
That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way.
Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned prize fighter. But now his meteoric rise faces its darkest chapter yet. As federal agents surround his California mansion, social media erupts with explosive claims, scripted fights, staged outcomes, and even whispers of arrests. From the Netflix headline clash with Anthony Joshua to earlier marquee bouts, critics allege Paul's journey inside the ring may not be as authentic as it appears. Promoters deny it. Regulators dismiss it, but doubts refuse to fade. With an FBI search already part of his past and public trust rapidly eroding, one question dominates the conversation. Is this the beginning of Jake Paul's downfall?
Have raided the Southern California home of YouTube star Jake Paul. Federal officials say the search was part of an investigation. Wendy Birch is in Calabasas with what we're learning tonight.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as federal agents entered Jake Paul's Calabasas home located in this gated community off of Mulholland Highway. We counted close to 24 federal agents, some of them in tactical gear, entering the residence. Why they were here and what they were looking for, that remains unclear. The federal search warrant has been sealed and no one is off.
The raid wasn't sudden. It was the result of long-standing scrutiny. For years, boxing insiders, former champions, and veteran promoters have questioned Jake Paul's rise. Carefully selected opponents, unusual pacing, delayed knockdowns, and contracts rumored to limit real danger. To skeptics, the pattern looks engineered, not earned. And now, with federal involvement entering the picture, those suspicions feel louder than ever.
Because, like, you know, you saw the Askren fight, we saw these fights that he went into. The Fury one obviously didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, just because I was so convinced that, like, Jake had these fights fixed, and there's a lot of people who talk about the fights being fixed because it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they tell me that too. They're like, tell me you're not going to take a fall against Paul. Everybody says that to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You could have paid me all the money in the world.
Even fighters who shared the ring with Paul admit the accusations follow him everywhere. Whispers of fixed outcomes, questions asked behind closed doors, and an uncomfortable reality. When money reaches this level, doubt always follows. Each fight, each controversy adds another crack to the image Paul has built.
The Jake Paul fight set up.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him had he dropped those hands. If I say, Rampage, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? Let this dude beat you, what you going to do? You're going to feel disrespected, number one, right? That ain't enough money. For me to do that, I got to be willing to walk away for good. Something like 20-something million where I can invest it and fall off in the shit.
Veterans know the truth about combat sports. No amount of money convinces a proud fighter to lose unless the price is life-changing. That's why claims of silent agreements and financial influence strike such a nerve, because if a fight ever crossed that line, it wouldn't just be unethical, it would be criminal.
In the United States is $1.3 million. Again, that's over the course of the person's entire life. Jake Paul earned 30 times that in one night. People talk about winners and losers, like Jake Paul.
After defeating Mike Tyson, Jake Paul sounded unbothered. "I didn't get hurt," he said. Supporters saw confidence. Critics saw confirmation. A fight against a legend without danger, without urgency, without chaos. For many, it felt less like boxing and more like controlled theater.
Big as the Super Bowl.
Big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? In the
did that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt.
I was seeing it
Why did he
while
have
I was
underwear
ringside. He had a G-string on, is what he had.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was crazy when we talked about this. I told him you were gonna say some dumb shit. You did the right thing.
Then came the numbers. Record-breaking gates, massive global viewership, proof that Jake Paul sells, regardless of belief or disbelief. But as entertainment value skyrockets, a deeper question grows. Is this still sport or something else entirely?
Jake Paul, fake Paul I call him, against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the Dubois knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
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 How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
It'll be over.
Now the stakes are higher than ever. Anthony Joshua, two-time heavyweight champion, elite experience, elite cower. Most experts see no competitive world where Jake Paul survives a serious Joshua. If this is real, it ends quickly. If it's not, the consequences could be devastating.
He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy.
Yet Jake Paul remains defiant. "I'm here to shock the world," he says. Confidence radiates, but to veterans it borders on delusion. Joshua represents a level of discipline, punishment, and danger Paul has never faced. And belief alone won't close that gap.
No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, his body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. But I find it very, very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the recipe.
Adding fuel to the fire are persistent rumors surrounding performance enhancement, dramatic physical changes, explosive power gains, and repeated resistance to strict drug testing clauses. Nothing proven, nothing confirmed, but in combat sports, suspicion alone can stain reputations forever.
So do you think it's going to be real, this fight? Do you think it's actually, so you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. Do you really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul.
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So we're
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some old. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot. Was he 6'6"?
About that.
Fucking. What is he? 16. What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do I think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits. No.
Yeah, and so is the potential that Jake Paul, like, I know you keep saying no, I know you're right, but is there a world in which you see Jake Paul?
Despite the controversy, money floods in. Massive bets, massive hype, massive risk. But here's the line no one can cross. This isn't an exhibition, it's a sanctioned fight. If it's fixed, prison becomes part of the conversation.
Paul script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script. This will give you goosebumps. I'm just going to read you parts, but if you want to see the full script, I'll show you it at the end. Round 1, opening bell rings and Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, but slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened. Then round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays it safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy. Subscribe if you want to read it.
Then came the so-called leaked script. Round by round predictions, matching reality with unsettling accuracy. Deleted posts, anonymous accounts, viral speculation. Fake or not, the damage was done. The idea of choreography had officially entered the mainstream narrative.
Mike Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing gloves throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching. And in the middle of the fight, the referee told Jake Paul to stop measuring. For those of you who don't know, in boxing terms, measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight, we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his gloves, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during the fight. That should be enough proof.
Joshua's camp addressed the rumors head-on. No agreements, no carrying, no protection. According to insiders, Joshua isn't entering for entertainment. He's entering to end it. And if Jake Paul truly believes otherwise, December could be a brutal reality check.
Is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight. Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
Sorry, just to silence all the doubters here. You know, a lot of people saying this can't be real. You know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's going to it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua. Just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
It's 100% real. It's 100% real. People asking why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out, you know, but we're in for a bit of fun and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this, and I don't think he quite realizes. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury, and Turki Al-Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026. It's one of the biggest fights in the sport.
But it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. 1, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. 2, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, fine, give us 2, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get one shot round the arm.
So is this the collapse of Jake Paul's empire, or just another storm he survives? Is this fight redemption or exposure? Drop your opinion in the comments, because one way or another, this fight will change everything.